Hello and welcome to the Power Hour Podcast. For maybe the first time, second time, third time, I'm doing the intro because Scott Barrett has officially abandoned us. He is off doing his bigger and better things. He actually did a podcast to sort of make that an announcement, but he told like some embarrassing stories that involved like real actual football players, so he made me delete it. But anyways, Ryan Hodge, who I think pretty much all of you know, is going to be taking over for Scott. He writes for Fantasy Guru, and he used to own ProjectRoto, so it makes it really awesome because it means that Hodge can do the website because I don't know how to do any of that shit. Hodge, man, what's up?
Nothing, man. Just ready to get done with these MFL 10s because once we're done with those, that means it's real season. So,
yeah, except that I'm seeing that everybody's starting to really like these draft things. So I'm about to get into some of those too.
I can't play for real money. Not allowed in Texas.
Yeah, fuck.
Texas. Yep.
It's DK only, right?
I literally live and die by DK remaining legal in the state of Texas. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fine because that's preseason DK only. So,
yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Fuck everybody else and anyone who doesn't play preseason. Dude, so basically just wanted to sort of talk about our plan. And so tell everybody what you have done with this website and how they would sign up. Obviously, they don't have to sign up yet, but when they want to sign up, what they're doing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like any other tout site that you see out there, you know. Just go sign up. Basically, what it's going to be is you will get access to our Slack chat, which I think is probably going to be one of the biggest reasons to sign up. There's so much breaking news in preseason. It's almost NBA status when it comes to kind of having to just be by your computer around lock, and the Slack chat is going to be crucial for when it comes to setting those preseason lineups. And then we'll also be offering content for the regular season too. Obviously, the Slack chat will be there. I'm going to be doing like a 8 or 9 tabbed spreadsheet with projections, snaps, targets, distribution for red zone, and then my own projections as well for every player. And then we're going to be doing written content just like you would see on any other tout site, but definitely education based, not like, hey, play X and play Y because that's what we said. And that's kind of where it's at, man. I mean, I'm just excited. I was excited to build it and excited to see where it goes. It's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, dude. And Scott was going to come on and join us if we had done this on Friday, but was not able to do it on Friday because I almost forgot that it's my girlfriend's birthday. But, you know, that's my life. So Scott will definitely be a regular guest during the preseason, probably during the regular season too. He just isn't allowed to be like tagged to anything that is not Pro Football Focus. So Hodge and I are the new co-hosts, and at various times Scott will be a guest, which will be interesting.
We have to have Scott on. I have yet to do a podcast with Scott. I don't know how that keeps working out.
Yeah, you didn't even get the pod with him, and then you replaced him.
I know.
A weird dynamic.
Well,
yeah. So basically, had a bunch of some of the big name guys hit me up in the off season and tell me that I couldn't give free preseason advice anymore. And so, like people have always told me, you know, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. So we are not going to be free during the preseason. It's going to be $30 for the preseason. You're going to get sort of my cheat sheets, which are going to be, they're very quickly put together because pretty much an hour before lock is when you're finalizing stuff. And I will also be sort of just talking about my exposures in the Slack chat as we're going, because I max center in the preseason. That's pretty much what you want to do. You want to have as many lineups as possible because it's a pretty variance heavy sport. It's a lot like the NBA. You're looking for snaps, you're looking for minutes. So you want to find these guys who are going to have snaps and minutes, and you're not going to know that till close to lock. So that's what we're going to do, up to the minute stuff. And then we're also going to pod for the preseason slates, same as we did last year, but we're going to put the pods behind a paywall. So they'll be YouTube only and maybe MP3 download, something like that. But they are not going to be on iTunes. They're not going to be free. And we will sort of go through like the news on the week. A lot of times you'll have news early that's important. Like the Chiefs last year said their starters were going to play 3 quarters. So that was Kansas City Chiefs slate. And, their Chiefs players were like 30% owned, and it was completely stupid. So the edge is there. It's super profitable. I know I was super profitable last year. Hodge, I think you had a good preseason as well.
Yeah, only because I did what you told me to do, in all honesty. I mean, it's just crazy. Even looking at head-to-heads, like you get a lot of fish posting. Like they're just so ready for action for football. They're doing their drafts, in the very beginning of August, and it's just silly because they're literally picking the players that they drafted. And like I expect that to happen week 1, week 2, like people filling their lineups out with who they took on their regular season. But the edge is. Do you remember when golf first started like 2 years ago? And there was such a huge edge in golf. It's like that with preseason. It's so nice. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, and it sounds like Seth Yates's info is going to be going behind a paywall this year as well. Honestly, most of the free stuff I was seeing out there last year was pretty bad. I read a few articles from some, bigger websites that were not good. So you got to be really careful who you're reading, what you're paying attention to. It takes a lot of time. There's really no being sharp about preseason in the sense that, you have some kind of leveling. You just need to know who the players are they're going to play, and you need to play them. So, I comb through beat reports all day while I'm at the office when I have time. You got to know what kind of beat reports to read. That's what I do. You can learn, and I'm going to hopefully try and teach everybody how to get better at it while we go through this too. So
I have a good list of beat reporters too. Just remind me to share that, and I'll put it in the Slack chat so people can hop on that too.
Yeah, and I will share. If people want to ask me like, "Hey, what do you think about this beat?" I'm going to tell you. And I've had altercations, surprise, with lots of beat writers on Twitter. So I can tell you the guys who are, they're going to give you honest answers and respect fantasy. And there's the guys who, they think fantasy is a joke. But in all honesty, the only reason that a lot of us are reading these articles right now in the off season is because we plan to try and profit during the preseason. So I know that you're in control of this website. So I leave that all to you. So no one has to, worry about me ruining this stuff. So it's gonna, it's been running smoothly. We've got the Slack going. We've sort of been testing stuff. And I'm going to put as much as I can onto it. Hopefully I might be even able to do some live up to the minute, chats if we have some crazy news coming in, just throw up like a YouTube hangout, and that will be able to be, available on there as well. And yeah, and Hodge, showing some skin, man. It looks good.
I don't know, man. Just my Dodgers jersey. Still baseball season. I'm still losing money in baseball, so still wearing baseball clothes.
Yeah,
we'll end it right there.
Dude, I haven't played baseball in like 3 weeks.
That's very fortunate for you.
I'm pretty sure I'm break even this season, which is surprising. Baseball is probably my worst sport.
I wish I was. Sure. I wish I was right now. We'll leave it at that. It's been brutal, but oh well.
It's fine, dude. You're a tout. You don't have to win.
No, I don't have to win. Just have to write articles.
Yeah.
I think the other thing too is like we're doing a really fun MFL 10 right now, and so we're gonna have a lot more MFL 10 content come out on the site too. One of which being a full breakdown of how, what I guess you could call some pretty sharp people in the industry, what they did in regards to their draft, just from guys from like Football Guys and 4for4. You got Al Zeidenfeld, who's just an all-around sharp mind when it comes to football. So we'll have more MFL 10 content on there. That'll all be behind the paywall. So it's going to be good. And the content that we put out, we want to make sure it's good content that you guys aren't just clicking, $29.99 and really not getting anything out of it. That was the whole goal with ProjectRoto, and it was extremely successful, and just hoping to bring that over to the Power Hour.
Yeah, dude. Doing like big things. We were such a mess last year. It feels so streamlined now.
Nah, y'all got screwed when Scott left. Like, I'm not half that person when it comes to all the analytical stuff that he does. But I can kill some beers and talk about football. So
yeah, man. But the best part about preseason is like analytics matter fuck all. Like, not at all. I mean, honestly, it's like the Wild West, man. You're just like shooting from the hip, and you have to. Like, you just have to be ready for this, like everything to just fall apart. When they say, 35 minutes before the first game kicks off, they're like, yeah, so-and-so, the first 2 string quarterbacks are not going to play. So this schmuck is going to play all 4 quarters. Everything changes.
So talk to me. I know you're not a big cash player in general. I know like when regular season rolls around, you'll play the big 50 and like $100, 1,500 man dub ups and whatever entry limit they're running. Do you play any cash in preseason, or is it just flooded with sharps and there's no point?
The thing about preseason is just like, it's pretty rare that you have a player that you can put in 100% of your lineups, that you can feel comfortable doing. I mean, maybe 70, 80%.
Sure.
Maybe like 1 running back or 1 wide receiver, something like that. Last year was an interesting year because you had Dak.
Right.
So for the first few weeks, if you just played Dak in cash games, you won because, he was 50, 60% owned.
Right.
And he was by far the best scoring quarterback. But that's rare. That doesn't happen every year.
But you don't think we'll see something like that with Trubisky and those guys again this year? I mean, you have so many teams who want to see what they have.
I think it was interesting that Romo, he died. So it was just such a unique situation where they literally had to have him like week 1 game ready.
Sure. Okay.
Whereas these other teams are not going to quite have to do that. So, I mean, the quarterback's definitely going to be interesting because there were a lot of project draft picks, that are behind, like, you've got this kid in Cleveland. You've got Trubisky, and then is it Mahone? I don't know. I can't even pronounce his name right. Mahone?
I don't know how to say his name, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah. So you have those 3, and those are going to be the types of quarterbacks that we'll probably be looking at. And then there's also like the guys who are on the roster bubble, who are like fighting for the number 2 job.
Right.
2 years ago, there was the Packers quarterback that was like a total preseason stud, trying to fight for, just the number 2 spot, especially behind a quarterback like last year you had Garoppolo behind Brady. So Garoppolo was a good play as well. So that's pretty much, what you're looking for. And yeah, you're definitely going to see in cash games, probably 15% of the lineups will be completely dead because, they'll play Tom Brady who plays 6 snaps, something like that. But head-to-heads, for the most part, you're playing against the Levitans of the world, and they're doing their homework.
Speaking of, I think we're having him on fairly soon, yeah?
I'm going to try and get him and Evan on for the
Perfect.
preseason.
That'll be nice.
Had Evan on last year. That was a great pod. That was easily like our biggest week.
Shining moment.
I had to pry it out of him if he agreed with me on a running back.
Because he didn't want to give up any.
He didn't want to give it away, dude. And the guy ended up still being like 6% owned.
That's so awesome.
And
yeah, but that's the best. We're putting everything behind the paywall, so like it doesn't matter. Anything preseason orientated is going to be behind the paywall. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And Evan was one of the people that definitely gave me shit.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, You can't do this. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get some good guests for the preseason. There's not a whole lot of people that really, do the preseason, like go all in. Levitan's one, Evans one, Seth Yates had him on last year. And, if you don't go all in, then you're really not going to know what you're talking about. And if you do go, if you don't go all in, then you need to be following the people who are. And if you're following people who are just spending the morning looking through stuff, posting an article, that's not going to be good by, 7 p.m. lock. Yeah. Yeah. And Tyler Yates's stuff is apparently going to be behind a paywall this year too. So I think the edge that people thought, was fading with preseason, I think is going to come back this year because you're going to have to pay for this shit.
Yeah. And if you're paying for a subscription that doesn't have some form of a live chat, whether it's through Slack or whether it's through the website itself, like I think you're missing half of what you're paying for. Like getting somebody's feelings and thoughts about roster construction and what to do when X beat reporter says is hands down going to be the biggest thing when it comes to preseason.
Oh yeah. And last year, I did like tweet storms. Mm-hmm. If anybody followed me last year,
not going to happen.
Tweet through thoughts. It's not going to be on Twitter. It's going to be in Slack chat.
Literally is what the Slack chat is for. And then I'm really excited too. Like one thing I've kind of never really done until recently was show my actual player exposure. So I'm excited to do that for the people in Slack chat too, for preseason and for regular season. Like, hey, out of 150 lineups, I'm, on player X 64% or whatever it is. So I think that'll be good too.
Right. Oh yeah. And for preseason, that's huge because it's like, that just tells you whether I think a guy is a good player or not. If I have 12% of him and you're playing cash games, he should not be in your lineup. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you're looking at. And it's especially important in preseason because every player is the same price. So if I have X percentage of a player, it's not just because he fit. It's because I literally said, put 65% of this guy into my lineups.
Right.
So, you're in the regular season, you're going to end up with, over and under exposure to certain players just because roster construction doesn't let it happen. But in the preseason, you can build whatever fucking lineup you want, man.
Right. That's why I'm so jacked for football, dude. I'm so ready. I'm not over baseball just because it really is a sport that I enjoy, but I am so ready for football. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, like I like playing MLB DFS. I like playing all the DFSs, man, but it's easily football's definitely my favorite.
Did you play any CFL tonight?
I did not. I actually didn't get home early enough to dive in.
Yeah, I unregistered. I registered 4 or 5 days ago and was like, I don't know. I'm literally burning money. Like I like to burn money, but I was genuinely burning money by registering for those games. So I was like, nope, I'm good.
Well, you got to hit up Donnie Lar, man.
I guess. Whatever. Football's around the corner. I'm good. Yeah, 4-day sweat. Karl Marx says 4-day sweat in the chat. And dude, that's the thing that I love about PGA so much. Is it just tears every living thing that's inside of you apart for a full weekend.
Bad. It's so bad. Yeah, dude, I did a $10 just with a bunch of my friends who live in Baltimore. 10 of us, winner take all on this last one, and I got 1 of 6 through, man. It was a strong lineup.
Yeah. Last week I fired 4 into the Millie Maker, and that was it. That's all the golf that I played because I was done. And then I played everything on weekend golf, and it was so much better, Johnny. Weekend golf is the best. The $8 is so fun. Anyways, this isn't a golf show. So I think the other thing too is with MFL 10s, we're going to be doing a lot of drafts with our subscribers, and we're going to be giving away a lot of MFL 10 entries too. So
we got to refigure out the plan for MFL pods, but we're going to do them.
Mm-hmm. MFL's too fun, man. It's so much fun. And I think I'll talk to Jeremy, who just sold Play Draft, but I'll talk to him about getting some sort of like a live draft set up where we get a bunch of people and we actually do like a full draft, even if it's just the first 5 rounds to see what we're doing in best ball. I think that'll be fun too. But it's just, I'm super pumped about the future with Power Hour and the website and just football in general, man. People getting down on the merger news. Really don't think it's that big of a deal. I think eventually we're going to see lower rake in the lobby in general, whether it's on one site or both sites. I think the prize pools are going to stay heavy for football, and it's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, dude, preseason, it's going to be so much better this year with like legitimate. They were filling all their shit last year.
Yeah, like 7 hours in advance.
Yeah, and first place was like in the $3, like 2K, 3K, something like that.
That's what that's going to be. It's going to be the $4 that they run every night on MLB, where first place is like 75, 20 entry max.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely think they're going to do that stuff for preseason this year.
Yeah, I think so. Though, I hope they don't do the 20 entry max because I worry that they're not going to fill stuff.
Well, yeah, even if they make that, like, you ever see the random 130 maxes that they do instead of 150?
Yeah, I don't even know what happened with that. It must be like someone like fat fingered a percentage or something.
Hey, I want to screw up your entire export, so I'm going to make this 131 instead of 150. Like,
right? Yeah.
So dumb.
Worst. And you have to like go on like Roto Grinders or something and do their like, where you can actually do 131 lineups.
What are some of your favorite? So like you max anything in preseason. I know that when it comes to any cash game selection, I know you try and stay away from it, but I know you're also degenerate when you load that lineup and it's all green on the right hand side and you can just click enter. Do you play any cash at all? Like the large field 50-50s, like the 10 max 10 man, or I mean the $10 10 max?
In preseason, if I would play, I would probably focus on the giant double ups that are at the top of the lobby.
Yeah,
because people are not going to scroll down for the other stuff.
So same thing for regular season.
Well, in regular season, I really like those 300-man big 50-50s, but they fill so early in the week.
Yeah, you just have to reg for them. Do you do any bum hunting? Is one word that I've heard it called, where you scroll through that lobby like 40 minutes before lock and you look at badges and you see if you recognize, like, see if A Raven's in there, see if Levitan's in there. Like,
dude, I'm working on it. Scott and I are gonna hang out with John in Baltimore at some point. But he's actually I know him through mutual. I don't know him, but through mutual friends in Baltimore. Actually found out that we have mutual friends. So hopefully we can get him on the preseason pod. I don't know if he will want to come on and share any of his secrets, though. He was another person who said that we should not be free.
Yeah, when you see A Raven 52, you should take his games. Thank you.
Yeah, don't do that in preseason.
Man.
If there's somebody who I think is probably the best preseason player, it's probably Jay Horst. But
yeah, Jay, there's so many good. I think Levitan crushes it too.
Levitan's pretty good too. Levitan runs that single lineup train though. He needs to get into the
dude, I don't understand why he doesn't at least like take 33% equity in that. You know what I mean? Or like it's crazy to me to run that full train.
Yes, he did have a smash night though, the one night. Oh. But
maximize your wins, minimize your losses, right?
I guess so. 150, man. I want 150 unique lineups, and I'm dumping them into whatever shit they put out this year.
EOM. He doesn't appreciate being labeled a bum.
Hey man, EOM. We call him as we see him, dude. If you weren't such like a Patriots diehard blowhard, I would be nicer to you.
Well, I'm gonna sign off right now then.
No, dude, nobody's as bad as him. Dude, I love that. Have you seen Silva's like tag that he has is because EOM said that to him?
No.
Jug guzzler.
Oh, the jug guzzler. Yeah, but oh my gosh.
And it's literally like his background of his Abby is like his daughter like guzzling a jug too.
Yeah. I think it was a thing too with like with Matik and
dude, it's Matic.
Yeah, but I'll call him Matik forever. Like I butchered his name one time. Just like what was it, Scott who butchered Silva's name on the podcast at one time?
He called him Elvin. Dude, Scott tried to go in on Michael Rappaport today, and he spelled it wrong. He spelled it like Ian Rappaport's name. The brand is forever gonna go on, man.
Oh, that's perfect. So I mean, you have any other like preseason do's and don'ts? I know like we have a lot of time and we're gonna go over a lot of this, and I'm sure we'll have a strategy article up soon, as well as just more coverage on the pod, but like just to give people a little dose.
Yeah. I guess the do is like the players to watch beat writer articles are, if you can only read, one article from every team, those are the ones to read. Like 5 guys to watch today or 5 guys to watch this week. Those are generally the guys who are either the most talked about by the coaches or they're on the bubble, things like that. So those are your important articles. So that's one big pointer that I'll put out there for free for now.
And you're finding those on just like CBS.com, just like from those beat reporters, like wherever their sister company is or like their headquarters are.
This might blow your mind, but I just literally Google that shit, man. So I will get on Google and I'm like, Jets players to watch, and then like you hit that. You don't want the all. So like you want like the news tab. And that's going to show you like the recently posted articles from like Jets websites, Fox Sports, NFL, ESPN. And you're just going to look for those like players to watch preseason week 2, whatever.
Okay.
Probably the best articles if you don't have time, because it's really going to give you guys to hone in on. And then if a team is like telling you in the preseason, the teams aren't making shit up. If they're like, we are going to feature this guy today. So like the Patriots last year were like, we're going to feature Chris Hogan because we want to see what he can do. And people were like, I don't know, I don't buy it. And I was like, Hogan all in. And everyone was like, no, dude, don't do that. And then he was like the highest scoring player in the week. You just have to trust that they're being honest to the fans in the preseason. Because number one, they want people to show up. And number two, they have no reason to lie about it. It's not like they're giving up a game plan for a game they need to win. Who cares?
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, it sounds like, too, a lot of that stuff's going to be behind a paywall. Even that, like I saw Evan tweet about it the other day, just where like beat reporters are like for the Washington Post and the Times and some of the more popular publications are putting that behind a monthly subscription, too. Like it's going to be, the edge is not going away. I'm very excited for NFL preseason. Like I played usually I'll play like 15 to 20% of what's in my bankroll every Sunday on a given slate in the regular season. And when I was listening to your advice and playing preseason, just because I didn't have a strong grip on it the way that I felt like I needed to if I was going to play 15 to 20%, I'm playing 100% every Sunday. Like I don't care. You're just going to be, it doesn't even matter. You're going to see $4,000 worth of head-to-heads in a lobby, just like you told me not to do, but they're going to be there. Like, because I can't not do it.
Yeah, don't do that though.
I'm so pumped. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
I mean, there are definitely slates to play 50-50s, though. Like the week that the Chiefs said the starters were going to get 3 quarters, fire them off, Load your lineups up with Chiefs, dump them into double ups, head-to-heads, 50-50s, whatever.
Johnny, I'm going to play every week. I don't know how to not do it. I make 150 lineups, and I'll max something, and then I'll make 3 cash lineups, and I'll click the green button in the lobby, and it'll go down, and I'll watch it disappear from my bankroll. I don't know how to not do it. It's not possible.
Do that less on weeks that we are less certain.
Nope.
I don't know. It's probably not gonna happen.
Because the weeks that we're less certain, like we're wrong more than we are right. So I need.
In preseason, though, so far in my life, I've been right a lot. Hey. But it's just that people aren't doing their homework. So if you're doing your homework, you're gonna get there. And I mean, I think the other positive is that I'm gonna get some of the guys who I know are really good at this stuff into the Slack. You know, even if they weren't planning on signing up, I'm just gonna drag them into the Slack. So we're gonna have some sharp people in the Slack chat for sure.
I will go out on a limb and say right now, I'm confident that we will have the best preseason advice that you can find, whether it's on Roto Grinders or Roto, unless Evan does specific preseason DFS content for Roto World, and he'll definitely compete with us. But I truly think that the $30 that you spend for that month is going to be the best advice that you can get for NFL preseason.
Yeah, no, and I think our Slack is just it's going to be lit. It's going to be a sharp Slack chat.
I don't
Definitely
know.
Some dedicated people.
It's going to be lit. There's so many good boob gifts in there already. It's fantastic.
I don't use these pre-team terminologies. Preteen.
Preteen.
Yeah. Oh I don't know. So Scott was going to come on and plug his metrics that matter. So I'll do that for him as we're running out of stuff to talk about.
Oh, I have something to talk about. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
You're on the clock in our MFL 10.
Oh. All right. Well, I'll take care of that too. But yeah, so Scott's been doing this metrics that matter stuff because he realizes no one is reading, fantasy football articles in the off season right now. And if you are, I mean, you're a true degenerate and I salute you, but I'm not reading fantasy football articles in the off season. I'm reading beat reports, which is what you should be reading. But Scott's doing like metrics that matter, basically sort of looking at statistics that aren't fantasy, just sort of, was this guy good or was this guy bad? Why was he good? Why was he bad? Was it an O-line? Was it the cornerbacks he faced with his Allen Robinson slander? So check those out. I know he's like putting a ton of work in them. So if you're not reading, CFL articles trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with that league and how to make lineups, check out some of Scott's stuff. And we will definitely get him on for some preseason pods so he can talk about playing white wide receivers, which is apparently a preseason cheat code according to Scott.
Cole Beasley the GOAT.
Hey man, the white wide receivers do show up in preseason. It's the only time they get PT.
they get that burn.
Yeah. Hey man, you gotta play him at some point. Yeah, man. So that's kind of I think everything I wanted to run through. You got anything else you can think of?
No, not at all. Actually, I think I just wanted to give a basis for the preseason stuff. Wanted to maybe talk a little MFL 10 if we can get in there. Like, I don't know. Why don't you give me? Well, I'll let you think about your pick, and I'll ask you this question. Then I'll answer it first, so you can take some time and think about your pick here. But my question is, give me a defense that you are targeting in the later rounds, because I think a lot of people talk about how Crowell is leagues ahead of Jordan Howard and is a good value or something like that, right? But like defenses are important in your MFL 10s too. So what's a late round defense that you're targeting?
It's the Chargers. All in.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say, dude. They're just going so late and they finish so high.
They're absolutely the best defensive value pick in MFLs. It's not even remotely close. So yeah, I've been drafting a lot of them. I think they might be my most drafted player.
They're just so easy.
Yeah,
they're usually my first defense off the board too, just because I usually go defense like 18, 19, 20, or somewhere like it, depending on if I go 3. It really depends.
here's the thing. They have a defensive end, outside linebacker, whatever, he can play both, who has obviously shown that he's elite. He was elite as a rookie. He's going to get better. He didn't even get to participate in the offseason program last year. And then they have two really strong outside cornerbacks who both struggled with some injuries last year. So, we're going to see possibly the best pair of corners outside of Talib and Harris.
I think Verrett's there with them. That's who you're referring to, right? You're not like pulling one over me with
Verrett and Hayward.
Yeah,
I think Hayward might be better than Verrett.
All right, that's fine. I can get behind that. I don't do enough IDP shit to like really pay attention, but I think the Chargers are fantastic value right now in MFL 10s.
And if Hayward can continue playing like he did last year, then you're going to get Verrett covering number 2 wide receivers, which is insane.
It's death.
Yeah. I just want to say, my boy Alshon Jeffrey, ended Verrett's life last year. Couldn't hang, tore his ACL trying to keep up. But I mean, it's a strong secondary. Strong corners. Secondary's decent behind them. Strong pass rush. They have a good linebacking core. They were good last year, other than the injuries they had. So as long as they stay healthy, I think they'll be good this year. And I think they're going to run the ball more. It's definitely.
Yeah. Talk to me about your Melvin Gordon hot take a little bit, because I know you're super high on him, and you got me look at him twice now as well.
I'm trying to remember, since I accidentally deleted my ranks, but I think I had him 6th or 7th overall for MFLs.
Right. So is that it? And did you have the standard 1, 2, 3 of DJ Bell, whichever order, and then Zeke 3, or did you have Zeke outside of your 6?
No. So those are my first 3.
Okay.
And then I just
had AB, Julio, Melvin, I assume.
It was AB, Julio, OBJ. Yeah, so 7. I had Gordon 7th.
Okay. So why?
I just think that you have the first tier of running backs, and then I think people put Gordon in the second tier, but I think he should be in a second tier by himself. I think he's closer to Zeke, DJ, and Bell than he is to like LaShawn McCoy. Because I think Gordon is a much better bet for 300 plus touches than the guys who are in the second tier with him in most rankings.
All right. I guess I can get behind that. I think I don't think that you can go wrong. I still think LaShawn McCoy is I think LaShawn McCoy finishes as a better running back, not just because he ends up having like 1 or 2 huge weeks, but I think McCoy just ends up being a more consistent running back. I don't know how much you buy into actual strength of schedule, but I know that there's strength of schedule 1 through 16 for Buffalo is fairly running back heavy or friendly, but that's fine. I think you're literally splitting hairs with those two. And
I was just checking the date since we're talking strength of schedule. I can't remember what month it was.
Motherfucker.
Hey man, if you end up being more solidified on your McCoy over Gordon, we can bet that one.
I am solidified on McCoy over Gordon. I actually have an auction value set for him, and I think he's going to be the one running back that I pay up for in the FFPC in Vegas.
You want to
I'll take it. Yeah, whatever you call it. I'll say.
What do you want to do? 50, 100?
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to say they like a certain game threshold? Because like it's
points. Let's do points per game. They have to play at least 12.
Booked.
All right. 50 or 100?
100.
Deal.
Oh, you know what the thing is like I'm totally fine losing this bet because I'm gonna have a fair amount of Gordon shares. So like it's like your classic hedge, but I like this.
Yeah, man. No, I think I guess I'm a little bit of a hot take on Gordon, but I mean, I was all in on Gordon last year too, and I'm all in again this year. It's not going to change. Yeah, dude, I don't know how to pick in our MFL. You guys fucking took all the tight ends. I'm fucking sitting here looking at dirt.
You took Andrew Luck with your 4th round pick.
Yeah, I actually got drunk and timed out.
I didn't want the pod to know that you timed out. I just wanted them to know that you took Andrew Luck in the 4th.
I warned everyone who was in these drafts with me that this was going to happen because I went to the Brewfest in Harrisburg. So I was drinking from like 1 p.m. to midnight. Yeah. MFLs didn't stand a chance, dude. I made picks until like 5 o'clock, which is that's stronger good than I expected myself to last.
Yeah, that's fine. Can't hold you against that. So talk to me a little bit about your MFL 10 stacking, because like I ended up going T.Y. Hilton and then Amari Cooper in this draft with, the guys from Football Guys, like Alvin's Zeidenfeld's in it. You got Roto Doc and TJ Hernandez and just a bunch of, sharp-minded football people. And so I ended up going T.Y. Hilton, then Amari Cooper at the 1-2. And then I ended up taking Derek Carr, however you want to look at it, end of the 7th, beginning of the 8th. Is that trying to stack was I trying to stack there too much with Cooper? Or do you think that's fine for Carr in that general area?
It's probably around early. Generally, what I do when I try to stack is like, I don't know. I get to round 9 and I'm looking at Carr, Mariota. Who else is usually there?
That's the thing. Mariota went right when Carr went.
Right, and Russell, he generally does. Yeah, and I guess this draft quarterbacks are going a little early, but for me, it's like, I'm looking at Cam, I'm looking at Carr, I'm looking at Mariota. It's like, do I have Olsen? Do I have Cooper? If I have Olsen or Cooper, I'm going to take, Cam or Carr. If I don't, I'm probably taking Mariota over both of them. That's probably a hot take at this point too. But
okay.
It's more of like I've been using it as a tiebreaker, and that's what I've always done. Is just you want to stack for upside, but you don't want to like force stacks for upside.
Sure.
If that makes any sense.
Okay. Good point.
It's hard. Like Beers has tried to look at some of the data on that stuff too, and it's really hard to see if stacking is actually giving you that much of an advantage in MFL 10s. But you can also look back last year, and I think it was 8 of the top 10 scoring teams of all of the rosters had a stack. So for what it's worth.
Word, man. Well, I think that's kind of all I got. Where are you at?
Yeah, man. Me too. Well, I guess we'll wrap this up. Hopefully we'll get some MFL pods started in the next few weeks. Just got to talk to Jeff from MFL 10, or I guess MFL, and figure out what we're doing with it. But hopefully we can do, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end series like we did last year. All right. Well, I'm John. This is Hodge. You can find Hodge on Twitter at Ryan Hodge. It's pretty hard, to find him. You can find me at John Proctor DFS. You can find the new website. It's powerhourpod.com. If you want to sign up early now, you're welcome to. We'll get you in the Slack chat. But we're not going to start putting out preseason content probably for another month or so. But we're at least pumping out the promo. But we're in Slack every day. It's mostly just everyone talking shit on me. So it's a good time. And voting on tacos versus pizza. Obviously, tacos are better. But
can we talk about that? About how pizza's a 69% favorite right now over tacos? It's not even close. I think we're done.
It's embarrassing, man. Whatever, man. The pizza may win the popular vote, but Taco's definitely taking down the Electoral College in this one. So, yeah. So, find us both on Twitter, find the website, and that's it, guys. Peace.
Take it easy.